Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. The Honorable Sir Benny Wijaya, SPD MPD, is our lecturer, and all my beloved friends. My name is Raffa Rasyqah from class 4BB. Today is my presentation about article, journal and article review, and the title that I choose as a learning objective and the tools of skill writing, a case of collaboration by Zargani Kalpa, Aradi Muhammad, and Kolbi Muhammad. Abstract. The purpose of this article is to contribute to enriching the models are intended to promote teachers and trainer use of pedagogical scenarios, and they offer some of the steps of the scenarios of learning at the level of education and learning. They also study tools, listen, plan, and teaching online, which can be provided to practitioners in ways. In addition, as a computing environment in terms of collaboration, they are particularly interested in the case teaching situation collaborative, and the purpose of which is to describe the use of simulation-free in a learning environment aspect. First, introduction. The approach they propose in this article offers several advantages. First, in the case of collaborative learning, it allows us to screen writing object observable in terms of the structure of the themes built by the tutor, trainer, or teachers. Then, suggestions for the main steps are proposed to develop a plain adaptive function of online learning, collaborative, so that the plan adaptive can be changed. The second is the script of learning in a distance education adapted. 2.1 Distance education. If we refer to the glossary to the French government in ICT, the general terms for the distance education covers all technical aspects and the organization models that have the purpose of providing a school or a learning to individuals who are most distant by the training service provider. For Vivian Gilman, the difference between distance education and traditional research in lies in their own characteristics are different. Therefore, the activity of teaching and learning are separated in time and in space. All the world a student has to face in classroom didn't immediately accept a kind of the course taught by the teachers. Visit learning teaching resources were visually designed in various places, families, place of work, research centers, and different time of the day each month or a year. 2.2 The educational scenario. Since the early 2000s, plans for research and file intended to provide or use of the models, method, and tools to design, implement, operate, and analyze the learning plan. In international, we can mention specifically Colfer and Tattersall, 2005, in modeling language teachings, more specifically proposal for the design of learning run EMS or instructional management system and the language of Pakwante in 2006 have led to the development of a method engineering for educational development and remote learning. The concept of the model of educational scenario is still an open file. Pakwante 2005 uses it as a way of exploration among the categories of objects, activities, and scenarios of learning take the front of the stage. The scenarios contain teaching methods have been for fun and which directors exist in world of science education. Use of models of scenarios of high quality, tried and tested in many educational contexts can often bring more quality than the simple reuse of content resources. Next, 2.3 Collaborative learning addicted. The process of using technical tools online to develop educational content will be divided into several steps. The teacher will craft a space or an environment that is educational and will manage the process to obtain and use the process successfully. Information that data to the learner, which lets the personalization of personal files and pedagogical content. Collaborative learning is an active phase in which the learner is working to build its knowledge. Therefore, the level of adaptive system, a roomy and comfortable space must be proposed to learn and share this knowledge. And uh, 2.4, the model of participation, building in the common activities of the group and its evolution in time of the activity itself. We call this level U1. The regulated space, Martel and Ferrari and 1999. It's cover everything that concerns the organization of the group, the composition and the life of the group, definition of right and obligation within the group, operating rules, and verse these rules, right and obligations. And then point 2.5, the computing environment in the EIH. EIAH. In general, the term EIAH covers the diversity of works and systems. What they have in common, it is the relationship between the intention to education and the computing environment. This type of pedagogical intent may be limited to the organization of training on the integration of or the translation of artifact. It also in the artifact itself. In the latter case, the search of the EIAH joined the computer science research search island, and therefore there's reason it doesn't offer in system, but depending on the studied problem. Therefore, the design of the type island, like smart guardian, was question of well-known computing research like problem solving, control, interaction, and etc. And it is also a design a platform for the dissemination of educational resources on the internet learning management system. It is intended to provide manage carefully the scenarios educational or solve problems such as the plasticity of the environment. That is to say if we have a problem is particularly relevant to the learning environment. And then this is point 2.6, the steps in the script. You can see on the screen the step of the script. The first, there are defined the objective. To do this, there are a series of questions which related to the target audience, the skill that the target audience want to master, the organization of time is chosen, and the materials available. And then second is sequencing. And during this stage, it is necessary to determine terms, activities, and or the workshop that will be used to achieve the learning objective are developed. And each sequence we associate the concept of minimum unit of education and even the concept of granularity teaching so correspond to a learning objective emphasis. in order to achieve the overall objective of the training. And then the diploma of the scenarios. After that, implementation, and the last is evaluation. You can read it on the screen. And then point 2.7, the tools of screenwriting to an online teaching. Okay, in order to facilitate the design tasks, we determine a typical sequence of collaborative activities, including the redefinition. Maybe it is time consuming to use. And in this way, we have modeled the step of the activities collaborative or complex that can be reused or modified. There are two main tools for writing script online teaching. These tools are effective because they have to manage the process of creating a script in an organized and rational. Next is point 2.8, the activity diagram, AD. In the activity diagram, inspired UML diagram unified modeling language used in a project's management. The role of each participant like teacher, learner, and a group of learners in the scenario is clarified. The diploma agenda should focus on the diploma of the students by positioning the intervention of the three types of actor in the sequence of the activities. The type of art representing the flow of control and data flow connect these nodes. The main element of the activity diagram it is an event. Its behavior is defined by the coordination of action. Many authors, such as Rockus and in 2006, have past a group represent the sequence of action performed by the participant and producing visible results. Next, point 2.9, the table of specification or TS. The series of steps represented in the DR is generally not sufficient to describe the scene. It must be supplemented by a description of each task is provided to the learner and make a reference to a series of dimensions which record nature, origin, and purpose of the submitted material to the learners and the expected result theory of sequencing of the text and the criteria of the sequence, organization of the group like collaborative work and the distribution of roles among the members, follow-up procedures and interaction. Okay, and the third, and this is also the last, is conclusion. As a result, new models have started to emerge and aim to clarify the relationship between the resource and their use, or to express the dynamic and continuously evolving nature of the design and the ongoing transformation of these resources in the teaching community. Provide this method and tools to the community to simplify the design and integration in promoting new strategies of use. And in the study, the two viewpoints of practitioners and researchers from different disciplines, their pedagogy and computer science. Computer science education education is more necessary than ever. We have introduced the basic steps that enable the design and execution of scanner's education for distance education in the form of a pedagogical research. The objective is to provide a sense of consistent tools to support the process of creating script from the teachers and can help teachers to write script sense in the context of collaborative learning. And this wants to be independent of any modeling work computer environment. The short-term prospects are to continue with the teacher work with the learners in an online learning environment adapt to submitting score. Okay, guys, I think that's enough for my explanation. Thank you for your attention. And if you guys have any question, you can ask me, and I will kindly answer from the WhatsApp. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.